Hey guys, this is Stephanie K and the NX7062 podcast coming to you, recorded from the beautiful Lambda Quadrant suite that we have at STLV, compliments of Mr. Randy Frank, who you may know from previous podcasts. We put together this fabulous suite, and he said that it was a great place to come and do interviews because it gets the lovely actors off the floor, someplace quiet. We can actually take our masks off, comfort level, obviously. But, you know, Nicole
it's pretty cool. It's really
cool. It's really cool. Nicole and I are both vaccinated, so.
Vaccinated, you know it.
Yep, and creation was really cool this year about clamping down on making sure who could come in. And
yeah, very good.
They're very high on safety this year. So we decided to do this up here away from the floor because the other thing I know is really important this year with the lighter crowds is that you spend as much time at your booth as possible. So I didn't want to take that away from you. Yeah. So I appreciate you agreeing to do this after hours.
My pleasure.
And as you all know, there are questions from the audience.
Oh my gosh.
From my studio audience. And we all know Travis because
we know Travis.
We love Travis.
Travis. Hi, Travis.
Hi, Travis. And Travis had a really great question because he said he was finally, after all this time, I don't know, it took us long, able to watch What We Left Behind.
Oh, good. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
And he wants to know, even though you were only there for one season, what were your feelings, thoughts on the last day of shooting?
On the last day of shooting, I was sad, just like everybody, you know. And for me, although I was only on the one season, it was still 26 episodes. Like back when people did 26 episodes in a season. So I did a lot, and I really got to feel like I was definitely part of the family.
Well, and I mean, those shoots, I mean, those were long days. It wasn't
long
just
days.
It wasn't just in and out. So you spent
9 months of long days,
right?
And so I really felt part of it, and, And I felt their side. I could feel, you know, I could see how close they all were and how much they'd all gone through, and been such a long time for them. So you could feel that, you know?
Right.
So I felt sad for them as well, and you couldn't help but tear up, you know.
You know what's funny is then you're talking about like bonding with that cast and the long days. I just remember this fantastic story you told back in 2016, the first convention where we met.
Right.
About I think it was your audition day, and you showed up on set, and you turn around, and there's like Jerry Ryan getting out of a car with
That's right. Yeah. I was like, there's no way I'm going to get this part. That's what they're looking for. What am I kidding myself here? But luckily, that's not what they're looking for.
No, I've said this on multiple podcasts. I'm a huge fan of MASH. It's one of my favorite non-sci-fi shows. And one of the things I've respected and liked is whenever they needed to replace a character, they usually went in a completely opposite direction of the person they're replacing.
Yep.
So there are no chances for comparisons because you want to build this character on their own 2 feet.
That's right.
So obviously with you, they went in a completely different direction, and you were.
I mean, they could have gone with a man or something.
Right.
Which would have been really completely different. But you know.
But no, I think.
But within the being another, woman, then it was still quite different.
It was very different,
and personality-wise, for sure, different. You know?
And what you brought to that part, that confused.
Yeah.
I never wanted this.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with it. Yeah. That identity crisis that we've talked with Lambda Quadrant about that resonates a lot with the transgender community.
For sure, yeah.
Not that a man couldn't play it, but I think the emotionalism, I think there's definitely something to that female emotionalism. Right. Women are much more freer with their emotions, so so Esri wasn't scared.
They tend to be, not necessarily, but overall they tend to be.
In general, but that's the thing. Esri wasn't scared to say things that maybe a male character in the same position. So I just think that resonated much better with the audience.
I think so, yeah.
So.
And I was saying on the panel, we had a lovely panel of Women of Star Trek that Chase Masterson, was the moderator for, and it was Denise Crosby and Robin Curtis, and then Terry, who wasn't able to be here, she came and did it by Zoom, which was a really nice treat because she felt so bad to not be able to be here.
Yeah.
Right? So that was a really nice surprise. And it ended up being a lovely panel, and in it I was saying, when it comes to courage, and, Jadzia was so together and confident, and I loved that. Actually, it's a reminder that courage comes from, if you have anxiety, or you, like Esri, didn't know her identity or trying to fit in, but she still persevered, and that's courage.
Absolutely.
To be able to do that, to be able to say, I'm scared, and I don't know, and I'm confused. But and she thought about running, but she didn't. And all that stuff takes a lot of courage.
It does. And I've always said, I've always preferred people to be honest with me. And I don't know is a great answer to a question.
Yeah.
But you have to have courage to say it instead of flub your way through and pretend like you know what you're doing.
Right.
So, yeah, absolutely.
And I love that relationship she had with Ben, with Cisco. And
it made sense.
It made sense.
It made sense that with everything that you had going on, that Esri had going on emotionally, that the symbiote in her would kind of guide her to the one person.
That's right. And although, I had been his mentor, Dax had been his, now he's sort of my mentor, but it all just was sort of organic and worked. And then as far as working with Avery Brooks, also, it just felt right, and that's a lot on him as well to give me that. To sort of, when he was saying to me, "Old man," like I felt like he really believed I was his mentor
somewhere. Yeah.
And we just worked like that, and it was really like a beautiful thing.
Right. And again, that brought you into the fold, which made it just as emotional for you on the last day as everybody else.
Of course. Yeah.
All right. So the other, I sort of stumbled across this person. I don't honestly remember like everything in my brain leading up to this convention.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, but Claire, she was great. I saw her somewhere. I think somebody was posting, if you could ask a Star Trek character anything, who would you ask? And all you had to do was post like what actor you want. It was just a general question. And I saw that they posted you, and I said, "Hey, listen, how about this?
Yeah,
I'm gonna see her. Why don't you let me give it a shot?"
Yeah.
So she has so many questions, but like I said, I know
Claire.
This is for Claire.
Okay, hi Claire.
She even sent me a copy of a fan fiction she wrote, which is really nice, and it centers around you. You are obviously.
Oh, I love that. It's so great that people write fan fiction. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. So, so she was really excited. So, a lot of her questioning just has to do with where do you see Esri, like after Deep Space Nine ended? What would you have liked to have seen for Esri? Where would you have liked to have seen Esri go as a person and as on her journey, because it did seem still kind of unfinished by the time.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I know so many people there's been a lot of wonderful things written in books, about Esri. People will tell me at the tables they'll come up. I have not read it personally.
Right.
But I know, that some people have her as a captain, and I just anything really. I'm not particular. Yeah, sure. A captain eventually would be great, of course. And of course, in What We Left Behind, they do write, season 8, episode 1, where she is captain. But just more to see her together and being able to, process all of these people in her and utilize them to the best ability. It would just be fun to see her down the road. Still Esri at heart, at core. But just being able to really use all of these different abilities and people within her would be cool.
Well, and that was
fun.
Right, and that's honestly what Claire was looking for too, was like, what are the interesting challenges? But it looks like the challenge would be for Esri to finally accept all of her past lives.
Yes, but still a quirkiness there.
Right.
And how she manages it,
really,
I think would be fun to play. But definitely harnessing it better. It would be fun because you'd be like, yay, Esri. But she'd still have some interesting ways of utilizing all the people that would be different from the way Jadzia did,
Yeah, well, and it was funny because I just saw the episode. Thank you, Heroes and Icons. I always say this on my show because Heroes and Icons run 6 days a week. They run everything. So every now and then I'm around enough to catch. And right now, before I left, they were in your season.
Okay.
So the one where you had to contact...
Residuals.
Yeah. The one where you had to contact your past self that was a murderer.
Right. Yeah.
Joanne. I mean, that was such a poignant episode.
Yeah.
And again, it addresses that challenge that you have because Esri was completely unprepared.
Right.
And to sit there and go, all right, well, I guess I have to,
Yeah, it'd be fun to pull him back up now-ish when she's a little more together, you know?
Yeah. And not so... You wouldn't have succumbed so easily to his little...
Exactly.
You would have been like, I'm putting you in your place.
That's right. Yeah, that would be fun.
Okay. Claire also said that you touched on this in 2019. If you reprise your role for Star Trek Picard or perhaps another series, what sort of role would you like to see you play? Or put another way, who has Esri become in the 24 years? But I mean, if they did offer you, I mean, and we did.
Anything, I'd love to be on it.
Yeah, we talked about that the last time we were together in 2019, where you were like, yes, Picard, call me.
Yes, definitely. Call me. What the heck? I don't know what their problem is. I don't know what's taking them so long.
I know. You would be great.
I think so.
I think you should just fly in and like Riker did at the end. He came in and saved it. So you need to come in and save the day as Captain Ezri. Why not? Why not? How much of your own personality and experiences informed your role as Ezri, and what did you draw on to clarify the role at the time?
Definitely, I'm drawn to people being. I myself like to sort of, the thing I like about acting is putting it all out on my sleeve,
right.
Because that's what I love about it. That's what I love about people. I like to talk to people and get into their minds and just sit one-on-one. I'm not good in big groups. I'm more of a one-on-one person. Right. And I like to hear people and sort of, maybe help them out and listen. But I like to share and just be like, these are my vulnerabilities, and I love that. So in Ezri, I was like, okay, this is what I love. She's got these vulnerabilities, and I think that it showed, because people would down the line say, that really helped me. Seeing Ezri really helped me, because I realized I'm not alone in feeling this way, and it's going to work out. And I love that, because that was something I definitely wanted to do, because I tend to be like that in life too. I don't mind sharing, vulnerabilities.
I have to tell you, because again, I know you probably never heard this story, but I was working for Creation in 2017. I did the New Jersey Con.
Yeah. And
I was working the mics, and somebody actually asked Denise Crosby, like, well, don't you lose yourself in a character?
Right.
And he's trying to he did community theater, and he was trying to give Denise Crosby acting lessons.
Oh, shoot.
And Denise handled it gracefully.
I'm sure she did.
But, and she said exactly what you said. Acting is about finding that part of yourself that you can imbue in your character. You don't lose yourself.
No.
You become that. You find something within you to bring out.
Ure.
And but I just remember I wasn't at the mic. They always alternate. So it was the mic on the other side of the stage, and I'm thinking, you're really doing this, Denise Crosby. But like I said, she was just perfectly, answered it with just so much tact. That's the word I'm looking for. She was so tactful.
They got up and asked a question, and good on them, and
right,
whatever.
right.
It's all good.
Okay, so the last one will fit in from Claire. Having seen at least some of the next generation yourself, who on the Enterprise D or E do you think Ezri would get along with most, and why?
Interesting.
I mean, do you think you and Deanna could swap counselor stories? Or do you?
Yeah, I think she could be sort of a mentory kind of a person for her. You know what? I've never thought about that. That's kind of funny. Who would Ezri be? I mean, I would definitely want to hang out with Riker.
I was just going to say, well, no, not just from the Riker.
No, but I think it would be cute. It could be funny.
And he hosted a trill in one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, the host.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if that's Ezri or that's just me. I just think it would be fun to do Ezri Riker scenes.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Because Riker just needs more counselors in his life.
And then, Data, because I love Data too. So I don't know. Patrick Stewart. I'd love to be with Picard too. Okay, yeah.
So basically everybody.
Yeah.
Well, we all know how well you hang out with Worf, because.
Well, yeah, I already know Worf.
We already know Worf.
Yeah. No, but believe me, I was very excited that I was going to work with Worf.
Yeah.
And Miles O'Brien.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's right. You were already kind of, so those.
I
already know the Enterprise crew. There you go. Yeah, that was the other episode that caught, was the one where you and Worf got kidnapped.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a fun episode.
That was fun.
Yeah, I think the first time we did a podcast together, we covered that whole kissing, taking the teeth out thing.
I love working with Nicole DeBoer, so that was super fun.
All right, so those are the questions for you. Here's the funny thing, and we talked about this before I started rolling, is that Connor and Dominic unfortunately can't make it this time. Again, I'm trying not to take away anybody's time, but they're not going to be here, unfortunately. But Connor was so nice when he turned me down. He just basically said, ask Nicole my questions.
Okay. Yeah. Well, how's that work? I'm going to answer his questions. Well, let me see.
Well, Jill on Twitter wanted to know from Connor and Dominic, what have they been watching on TV recently? Have you guys? Definitely not Enterprise reruns.
I'm trying to think if they told me what they were watching on TV recently. Shoot, I don't know. I should just start making things up. Pose.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, Dead Zone.
Dead Zone. They were just watching Dead Zone.
And Private Eyes.
Private Eyes, 24/7.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see what else was there. Michelle R from Twitter. She wanted to I have to read this question because I love the wording.
Okay.
She wanted to know if they would do another Enterprise, telling more stories about early space travel. And I was supposed to let Connor know that Trip can come back from the dead. Spock did, and so did Bobby Ewing. So
Trip can come back. Trip had a baby. Trip can come back from the dead. Like, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, anybody that reads the novels knows that there's a whole Section 31 thing where they actually did bring Trip back in the novels.
Oh, okay. Well,
so,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Let me see if there's any more that you could answer. And then I had, yeah. Well, you know what? I'll ask. This was a question from me to them.
Yeah.
But it suits you too.
Okay.
So we're going to do this one.
Okay. As me or as them?
If you want to.
I'm confused.
No, okay. That's what I'm saying. I put this together for them.
Okay.
From me.
Okay.
But it's a great question for you too.
Okay.
As I sit here because you have just as much of an experience with this kind of stuff. Do you have a favorite genre or character type that you prefer? Like horror, bad guy, good guy?
Honestly, comedy. I like doing comedy.
Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, I really like doing comedy a lot. Yeah.
So
I mean, I would have loved to have been on Schitt's Creek. I did audition for Schitt's Creek.
Did you?
For the, but I mean, she's amazing for the sister. You know, she's just incredible. But I did audition for it, and at the time, I was one of the early people auditioning, and casting said, "Wow, Nicole, I think we found your niche. So I was like, oh my God. And then I never heard back. And
don't you hate that?
But that's the type of thing that I like, I mean, I like lots of things.
Right.
You're just asking me, like, what would be...
what's your favorite? Because,
do enjoy comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
You've done horror, you've done sci-fi, you've done... So,
yeah.
So you have all of that experience in all of the genres. So obviously I figure... And I want to plug you again because, again, back when we met in 2016, you did some... Was it the Kids in the Hall movie? Or was
I did the Kids in the Hall movie, Brain Candy.
Yeah. Kids in the Hall, for anybody that doesn't know, Lauren Michaels, who we all know from SNL,
right,
also basically created the Canadian Monty Python, which was Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, well, they created themselves. They were these guys from Canada that got together and made this group, but then Lauren Michaels produced them.
Oh, okay, so it was their idea, but Lauren saw the potential.
Right.
And it is really the Canadian Monty Python.
Amazing. Dave Foley.
I love Dave Foley. He's so amazing.
Yeah.
He's popping
Scott
up.
Thompson, who is also great on Larry Shanley's show and all that. Larry Shanley, whatever.
You know what, I was watching?
Sanders. I always get that mixed up.
I was watching Friends this morning, getting ready to go, and who's the short guy with the black curly hair? I'm terrible with names. That was from Kids in the Hall.
Oh, Kevin McDonald. Kevin McDonald. Yes.
That was the little guy with the black. Yeah, he was on an episode.
Little, but yeah,
he was.
Tiny,
short.
Yeah, I guess.
Compared to the rest him and Dave Foley compared to the other guys.
Bruce is the shortest one, I think.
Is he really?
Yeah, I think.
You would know better than I do. But no, I just saw him this morning on an episode of Friends. I'm like, Kids in the Hall.
Oh yeah, was he the neighbor downstairs?
No, he was a holistic healer that Ross went to for a mole.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't remember that. That's amazing.
It was so funny.
Okay. Oh,
it was so funny.
Yeah, no, I love working with those guys. They just shot their new show, they were going to try to find a part for me. They just finished shooting in Toronto, and it's a new Kids in the Hall show.
Oh,
but it's based on their live touring show they did.
Oh, that's still like I said, they're
great.
Incredibly.
Yeah.
I wish it was available down here. Like I've looked to see stream
Well, this new show should be
good. All right, so let's do more plugs for Nikki's group, guys. They don't want to come up here. We're not going to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
So, what are you Private Eyes the last season?
Yeah, we did 5 seasons of Private Eyes. It's sort of it's not really on in the States very well. It was on Ion, and
I'm so excited.
Maybe something fell apart with that, that deal. But it's a hit show in Canada
for good reason.
Global network on Global TV, and we thought we were going to do 6 season, and then we suddenly weren't.
Oh.
So I'm not sure why they decided not to, but we were all kind of surprised by it. I know the COVID protocols and all that stuff is a lot of extra money and stuff. I don't know. Maybe that factored in. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, so it's we're done. 5 seasons, still pretty good. And you know, I've had so many auditions this past
Congratulations.
couple of months. Well, be good if I could get one of those.
Right.
But, yeah, because of Amazon and Netflix have opened up studios up in Canada and Ontario.
Yeah.
So it's really hopping.
You know, it's amazing the wealth of outlets now.
Oh yeah, there's so many. There's so much. There's so many platforms. There's so much.
Which is great because
stuff.
There's so much stuff out there that otherwise wouldn't get made.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's a great
I hear
opportunity.
from friends that are trying to, you know, write and create and pitch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's still difficult, you know,
Right.
because it's always changing. What's in, what's hot, what's wanted,
Right.
you know. So when friends of mine are trying to chase that, you know, that right, and I'm just so impressed that they can sit down and write something in a couple of months. But then it's not in now, you know, and they go to pitch it. It's like, oh, we're not looking for that kind of thing now. We're not looking for the indie film now. We're looking, you know,
Right.
we're looking for this. So, or we're not looking for this type of show anymore. Or there's truly that zeitgeist where you think you wrote something and then you find out
It's
10 other
passé
people-
already.
10
Yeah.
other people have written the same thing. You're like, wow, what? The same idea. It's crazy.
It is crazy, but
But it's like, it is a zeitgeist. It's in the people feel it. you know?
right.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff now, which is great.
Well, so
Lots of
hopefully we'll
roles.
be seeing you.
Hopefully.
And hopefully after Private Eyes, after the seasons are over and you guys
Yeah.
are done, maybe hopefully somebody will pick it up again down here.
You never know. Yeah, maybe.
Because it was on Amazon Prime for a while to rent,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
but I think Amazon even stopped after the second season.
Yeah.
So I only buy your episodes anyway. I
Oh,
always
there
look
you
for your
go.
name in that.
Yeah.
But no, I do. For anybody it sees this that can get a hold of Private Eyes, the chemistry between you and Jason Priestley and
Yeah,
Cynthia
Cindy Sampson.
Sampson,
Yeah.
thank you, is great. It's a fun criminal
It's fun.
drama.
It's
I love that.
It's like moonlighting or castle
Yes.
or, you know.
Yeah,
sorta
something
like that.
Yeah, so it's a whodunit, but it's fun.
Definitely.
And you'll let me know if you have any new projects because you know I'm always
No,
up
I-
to promote for you.
I'll always let you know, honey.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for being here with me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks
Like
so
I
much.
said, I don't want
My
to keep
pleasure.
you. Yeah, because
No, it's a cool little set.
isn't it cool? Yes, thank you again to Randy, Frank, and Lambda Quadrant for
Thank
letting me
you,
kind of hand that out
Randy.
in a safe space because that's what Lambda Quadrant's all about. For anybody that can't see it, he's off camera smiling at us because he's the consummate professional. He came in quietly so we could finish this.
So professional.
He is. He's amazing. So thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you so much, Nicole, and have a great rest of your convention.
Thanks. Bye, guys.